The other would be the starter, but Mitch Brown, Jonathan Hinkle will split time at that position in the backfield with the sophomore quarterback Andrew James. The wide receivers, Tucker Salinas and Vai Muena, with Deshaun Neal at the slot receiver position. For the Union Titans, the sophomore quarterback Lincoln Victor, the wide receivers Abe Smith, Kai Gamble, Xander Kell, and Wyatt Regina. Running back is Joseph Sayofila, and the offensive line J.R. Finch, John Archer, Sao Fa'alevau, Nicholas Curl, and Chris Green. Archer, Fa'alevau, and Green are all 295 pounds. Finch weighs in at 290, and Curl is the little guy on that line at 240 pounds. The Union Titans' starting lineup. The Hermiston Bulldogs rush out on the field from the east end zone near the school, off towards the west end zone, where second-year head coach David Faitete waits for the men in black, all black uniforms, gold numerals in lettering, the new black matte helmets that have the purple logos and striping on the top of them. For the Union Titans, they're an all-white uniform with gray numerals and black trim. Union Titans come to the Hermiston area out of East Vancouver, so far east that they have a Camas address, but they are a Vancouver school, part of the Evergreen School District. They share a district stadium between four different teams, and Roy Rosenbach is the first-year head coach taking over this program. His defensive coordinator is Ken Frisch. Kickoff is just moments away, and we will take our final break on the Sway Motors pregame show on AM 1360 KOHU. Opening night, and there's of course a little pomp and circumstance that would come with that. Captains in midfield right now representing Hermiston. It is Tucker Salinas out there along with Tyler Rohrman, John Henry Line, and Joey Gutierrez. I think that when you look at this team for Hermiston, Sonny, one of the things that stands out is the number of guys that are going to be called upon to play two ways. And last year, one of the things that defined this team was their health, or as the season progressed, lack thereof. So health and really keeping guys rested is going to be questions that are top of mind here tonight.
You will defer to the second half.
And you've got 6 and sometimes 7 players that are going to be going both ways out here, and that makes it pretty tough. You need to be able to keep those guys fresh enough, get them enough blows out there, and that's going to come up to that next man up mentality that this program has been able to adopt and be able to bring to it. They're going to have to be ready to come up and step up into it and bring that mentality home.
So the coin toss has been completed.
Defer their option to the second half. Hermiston will receive.
And so as we've learned, Union won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Hermiston will get the ball first offensively, and they will be attacking towards the high school, left to right across your radio dial once we get started here this evening. on opening night. Still, the anthem to come for the
Good evening, football fans.
Hermiston Bulldogs and their marching band, the very decorated marching band from a year ago when they went down to the Holiday Bowl.
Titans from East County down in Vancouver as they take on
And the Union Titans, they are lined up so that they create a U around the 50 and the 45-yard lines. And Hermiston is all lined up on the near sideline from 50 down to the end of the box at the 25. So anthem time here tonight. We'll take our final break. 2 minutes and we're back on AM 1360 KOHU.
Hermiston High Marching Band. John, my apologies. John was a wrestler last year. Please welcome to Kennison Field at Hermiston High, Mr. Sean McClanahan, and our new band director. I was thinking of wrestlers for some reason. Sean, my apologies.
The anthem's complete. The stands are filling up down in front of us on the South Grandstand side at Kennison Field, Bulldog Stadium. Hermiston will host the Union Titans to kick off the 2016 season. I'm Eric Olson along with Sonny Levy. Hope to find you well here tonight. It was interesting. Head coach David Faitete said in Chalk Talk, one of the biggest questions is going to be, what does this team do when they get punched in the teeth the first time? You get that first big hit, how do you pick yourself back up?
How are you going to pick yourself back up off the field when one of these guys comes in and plays you with wind on you, and you may not get that result in that first play.
Back deep to receive the kick for Hermiston in the west end zone. It will be Deshaun Neal to the right, Jonathan Hinkle to the left. Neal is standing at the 10-yard line now, walking forward a little bit, and Hinkle is off towards the left hash mark on the right side. Connor Culp is the kicker. He's a senior, hits it with the right foot. Getting it teed just right. He'll be kicking into a touch of wind here. It has been off and on breezy as we've gone through our pregame festivities. More cloud covers moved in off to the west. And as we are ready to put things underway, handful of minutes after the scheduled 7 o'clock kickoff, Cubs kick is a low line drive over to the right side, picked up by an up man. Roman has it down the far sideline and at the 34-yard line. He is brought down by Kevin Peterson. So Hermiston will get good starting position at the 34-yard line to open up the 2016 campaign. AJ Fernandez, Bo Blake, Caden Caldwell, Jose Watto, and Taylor Arnold down front. Andrew James is the quarterback. The sophomore, he stands at 5'10", 175 pounds. Starting point guard from night one on the football team, on the basketball team last year. Opened up with a flurry of scoring in the opening game against Kamayakin. And it will be a pistol set for James. Jonathan Inkle stands to his right. Three options to the right. The H-back, Jerry Ramirez, and then Vi Muena and Deshaun Neal. Out to the left, Tucker Salinas. Rolling to the right, James looking to throw on the first play. Now he'll tuck it down and run. Fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage. Brought down outside the hash marks at the 33. Losing a yard. The pressure on the play came from the linebacker position. Riley Miller, the 5'11 junior, got to James and dropped him. They actually marked it back at the original line of scrimmage, so no loss on the play. Second down and 10. Right hash mark set from the 34-yard line. The H-back is to the left, and out James in the pistol with Hinkle behind him. Turns and hands, Hinkle running straight down Broadway and gets a yard up to the 35-yard line. Runs into a pile of white shirts. Back in on the play is Miller again, along with Kareem Chin, a junior who plays on the defensive line.
Jensen Flannery.
Almost into a minute into the opening drive of our contest. Salinas will go wide to the left along with Deshaun Neal. Last year the quarterback is a sophomore. Now he's going to play in the slot position. Ramirez, the H-back, is out wide left as well. They'll roll that way. James looking to roll left. He'll throw towards the sideline. High and incomplete as Ramirez is hammered on the play by Keithan Shepard, a senior defensive back, to force fourth down.
That time he kind of rolled right into a lot of quickness over there on that right side, or his left side, and just the ball delivered a little high with a big shoulder to the first down. Anyway, right now we're already seeing a wheel route that came wide open, and we didn't pick it up really quick, but that's the start of the game. That's Norwich. She'll pick it up.
Damian McLeod is a senior, transferred here from Ridgeview High School. He will punt from his 36, angled over to the near sideline. It will roll out of bounds across the midfield stripe, and they will say out and still marking it off. Somewhere across the 36, it'll be around the 40 or so, where the Union Titans will take over on offense. 10:35 at the clock, and scoreless after a 3-and-out on the first offensive series of 2016 for the Hermiston Bulldogs. So the defense takes the field. And for Hermiston, the line will interchange quite a bit. The secondary is where there is quite a bit of regularity. Tucker Salinas and Deshaun Neal playing at cornerback positions. Vaimena and Joey Gutierrez are the safeties. In the linebacking core, it is McLeod. He is a competitive weightlifter. He's the transfer from Ridgeview. He was their quarterback last year. Brady Christensen, and in the middle, John Henry Lyon. The sophomore, Lincoln Victor, will take a snap, handoff, running to the right side, cutting back to the left. Ciofile gets near the midfield stripe, where he is brought down by Christensen and friends after a gain of 5. Left hash mark set for Victor. He looks over to the far sideline as the plays are signaled in. Ciofile is standing to the left of Victor. The sophomore quarterback slaps his hands together. Now he'll stand back up, and they'll look over to the sideline and a check and change. Gimbel in the slot to the right. He'll move farther out to the right side. In fact, he will switch spots with Wyatt Regina. Kellen Smith to the near side, and a flag out for delay of game. Took too long to get those new plays in, so the first flag that has been shown in 2016 here at Hermiston, given to the Union Titans. And the delay of game will move him back to the original line of scrimmage with just over 2 minutes gone in the second drive of our season. It is a second down and 10 now facing Union. Victor is medium height and slender, 5'9", 160 pounds. He'll have Ciofile, the bruising sophomore running back who stands 200 pounds, moving out of the field into the back. They'll swing it that way, right side, coming back around John Henry line. Flag out as Ciofile catches the ball and gets it across the midfield stripe to the Hermiston 49. The penalty marker came from the back judge. And so we will get a second penalty in a row here on this first drive for the Union Titans. Sun is fighting its way through cloud cover off to the west right now. And for Union, they are going directly into that sun. And there is quite a bit of glare that is coming off of the helmets of these players as this crew out of the Blue Mountain Officials Association gets together. They're talking right now with Hermiston's Bo Blake, the defensive tackle. And so the indication would theoretically be this is going against Union and going to push them backwards. They'd gained 9, so it would be a 3rd and 1 if Hermiston were to decline. Student section standing over to our right as holding is indicated against the Union. Students in the band over towards the high school in the east end zone. And the folks who did come over from Vancouver off a ways to our left. The holding penalty will stand. They'll push it back to the 40-yard line. Right hash marks out on 2nd down and a 12 for Union. Victor slaps his hands together, takes the snap, play action, looks right, throws onto the sidelines that way. Smith coming into the middle of the field, gets across the midfield stripe. Check that gimbal all the way down to the Hermiston 42-yard line. Quick hitter to gimbal, and on the wide receiver's screen, he gains 17, make it 18 yards. 9:22 on the clock in the first quarter. Opening drive for Union in this scoreless game. Going quickly, Victor takes a snap. Ciofile takes the handoff right into the right side, down the hash mark, and he will get inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Head coach David Faitete palms to the sky there, frustrated by something that was going on in that mosh pit where Ciofile was running. 2nd and 6, Ciofile will stand to the left of Victor. 3 receivers to that left side. Looking that way, Victor will throw it to the slot. Gimbal catches, spins off a tackler. He's at the 30, 25-20. Some speed. He gets inside the 15, down to the 10. Ball knocked loose, a pile around the 8-yard line. Union does get the ball back. It was Xander Kell who recovered if there was a fumble. And it's a first down and a big play for the Titans. Down to a 1st and goal opportunity to the 9-yard line. 8:40 left, and Union's trying to open the scoring. Ciofile is going to take the handoff right up the middle. Spins off a tackler, stays on his feet and into the end zone as Christensen grabs him by the shoelaces, but he's already into the purple, and it's 6 points for the Union Titans. That was an incredible balance play after he spun off of a tackler from the linebacking core. Ciofile was able to kind of go into a squat and still keep his balance enough to regain his momentum and get into the end zone for the score.
After getting the penalty and Hermiston getting up that little underneath pass play across the middle, Union being able to get the momentum going and doing a very good job of moving it right down the field.
Xander Kell is the holder, and now they're going to shift receivers out each way. Kell is going to throw to the near sideline for Gimbal. Gimbal will be tackled by Tucker Salinas at the 8-yard line, and a 2-point conversion attempt by the Union Titans is unsuccessful. So a 6-0 lead for Union with 8:30 on the clock in the first quarter here on Kedison Field at Bulldog Stadium. Hermiston, this is the proverbial first punch into the teeth, and study offensively, they've got to respond, and you start incrementally. A first down.
First annual Hermiston football trivia contest, courtesy of KOHU play-by-play, and
move that football right ahead and hit the line quick, because right now they're first 3 minutes. Their offensive line that has got them.
So you have to report to the concession with your answer. So we'll have
match up real well.
And of course, Bulldog
with
Athletics.
our with our offense. So we just need to be able to go ahead and move against that defense.
Thank you for your support.
And that's part of one of the advantages that this Union team brings in against Hermiston is if you look sideline to sideline, they're about equivalent as far as number of bodies in jerseys. However, Hermiston is, by skill level, throwing a lot of guys out there playing both ways. 8:30 on the clock in the first quarter. Union a 6-0 lead as Connor Kolb has it teed. The right-footed kicker will approach. And again, boot a low bounding ball over to the right side, taken by Rorman at the 30, 35, and he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. Tackle for the Union squad on the play by Kevin Peterson. The senior makes his second special teams play for the Titans.
Ball spot on the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
So the Hermiston offense gets it at the 39, even a little bit further down the field than they had it on their first drive. They came up empty at a punt after 3 and out. Tucker Salinas, the wide receiver to the left, outside the numbers, the short side of the field. Vi Muena right, along with Deshaun Neal in the slot. Andrew James, the sophomore, takes the snap, turns it hands. Jonathan Enkel caught in the backfield and will fight to get back to the line of scrimmage and just barely gets there for him as he ends up right in the clutches of Montana Monk, the senior who's 220 pounds on the defensive line.
Right now, Eric, it's the defensive line of Union that is absolutely getting off the ball quicker on our offensive linemen, and that's why we're seeing the ball being back in the back.
2 wide receivers each way for James with a back to his left shoulder. 2nd down and 10. Play action. James running left. James gets hammered by an outside linebacker. Abe Smith drives him to the turf, but James does get some forward progress for Hermiston, a 4-yard gain.
On the stop for the Italians, number 6, Abe Smith.
But again, that's, you know, you got to see that positive. Right now, the fire is just not enough. Got to give them the time to get into the rhythm, but they need to go ahead and start picking it up and just pushing.
3rd down and 6 with the ball in the middle of the park at the 43-yard line. Again, twin receivers each way for James. The sophomore, righty, drops back, looking to throw over the middle. Rifles what? Wide open, and the slant is Anna. Check that, not Anna, but it was Deshaun Neal down to the 35-yard line into Union territory. A little bit of space in the pocket. James was able to step up and throw the strike.
Going ahead and being able to get the 31-yard pickup that time, Eric.
Down to the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, and Hermiston will go with tempo. Under 7 minutes left in the first quarter, trailing 6-0. James, hands in front, turns and hands. Hinkle running up the middle, breaks off of a tackler inside the 30, and he is wrestled down by Keithan Shepard, but not before he got into the second level at a 7-yard gain to the 28-yard line.
Gain of 7,
You just got to continue giving them that dose of quick pass, or quick run like that. You got to be able to hit that run up the middle really fast.
2nd down and 3. Rorman and Ramirez to the right. 2 receivers left as well. James hands off. Hinkle running left side. Slip, but he does get forward progress across the 25 down to the 24-yard line out on the left hash mark. And it's a second 1st down for Hermiston. Moves the chains with 6:17 on the clock in the first quarter. And a 6-0 lead for the Titans. Hermiston is trying to change that part of the storyline. Tucker Salinas will be the lone receiver out to the left side. 3 options come to the right. Now Ramirez will squeeze into the line. The H-back kind of looks like a tight end. Hinkle to the right of the sophomore quarterback. James bends at the waist. 1st down from the 24. Lobs it to the right corner. Caught for a touchdown! Hermiston, Deshaun Neal from 24 yards out, and a perfectly weighted pass from Andrew James.
But they were running so well this summer in their 7-on-7s, and just to a tee, they were able to get it out there to Deshaun. Deshaun ran underneath the crucifix.
So Hermiston has a chance to take a lead with 5:59 on the clock in the first quarter. After the 24-yard touchdown strike, now Deshaun Neal is going to be kicking the extra point. Tucker Salinas will hold. Caden Caldwell's the snapper. Good snap, holds down, the kick is up, and it does come through under some pressure from Union. Hermiston 7, Union 6, 5:49 on the clock in the first quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football on AM 1360 KOHU. Bulldog touchdown puts them in front 7-6 after the extra point. For Hermiston, Peter Earl is going to handle the kickoff duties here. The righty will angle a squibber to the near sideline inside the 30-yard line. It's picked up by Kell, who pushes it forward across the 35 and up to the 39. That's where the Union Titans offense will take over, trailing by 1 with 5:45 of the clock in the first quarter. First touchdown drive had a couple of big plays with Kai Gimbel, and then eventually Joseph Saufile into the end zone. Saufile stands to the left of the quarterback, sophomore Lincoln Victor. Victor, straight drop, in the pocket, stands, looks right, dumps it that way into the flat. Abe Smith has it outside the hash marks across the 50, and is tackled from behind after a first down gain of 13 yards into Hermiston territory.
Number 6, Abe Smith. Covered on the play for the Bulldogs, number 6, Damian McLeod. Reception is good for the first.
Damian McLeod credited with the tackle on that play. And first down and 10 for the Titans. Twin receivers check that. They move trips to the left side this time. Saufile will take a handoff on a fake pass. Breaks through it at the second level. Down the right sideline. He goes across the 30 and down to the 30, down to the 27-yard line. 5:18 left in the first quarter, and the Titans trail Hermiston by 1. Defensive line has still not been able to put itself into this game in a good way. Saufile takes a snap, spins off of a tackler, coming to the left side and down to the 21-yard line. Rushes for 6 yards. Boy, it was John Henry Line, I think, who had Saufile in the backfield. The shifty sophomore quarterback spun right off of him. Saufile again, right up the middle, breaks a tackle, reaches ahead towards the 18-yard line in the middle of the field. And it is very close to first down yardage for the Titans. Caden Caldwell makes a tackle. A little roar from the crowd down below us. His father, Dave, always wanted some defensive stats, and, well, Caden's older brother just could never pull that off. Dylan was an offensive lineman completely. Throw, and Abe Smith drops it incomplete on first down. So now, Caden's playing center instead of the left tackle where he was previously and where Dylan played for 3 years. The now Linfield Wildcat. I think he got a half a tackle once, one time in his career on special teams. So Caden's already bested him with a full tackle in his first game of senior season. Second down and 10. Over the middle, the pass is thrown. Gimble catches it at the 10-yard line. Hit immediately by Joey Gutierrez. But it's good for 8 yards and a third down and short coming up for the Titans. A little more than 4 minutes left in the first quarter and a 1-point lead for Hermiston.
Just outside the 10.
Victor with Ciofile to his right, hands off. Ciofile coming to left across the line, dives across the goal line, and it's a touchdown. Wait, hold the phone. And this was the White Hat who tosses out the flag. And I think this is going to go against Union. It will be the third time that they're given some type of ticket in this game. So the changes to the Hermiston coaching staff include up top. And up top they have Matt Bruck, who's helping David Faitete with the offensive looks. But along with that, Rick Wells, the offensive line coach, who was the former head coach at Beale High School and Madras High School. And he's got a grease pen, and he's just using the grease pen to design up on the window in between the coaches. And so the discussion is taking place right there on the window. So the penalty for an illegal shift will move Union back to the 15-yard line. Third down and 8. Victor looking left, pumps, he's pressured, he's dropped in the backfield. It's a sack and a loss for the Union Titans. Caldwell was in there with Fernandez. Back to the 23-yard line. Caldwell and Fernandez share the sack and the fourth down facing the Titans. They will bring their specialists out onto the field. And looks like they will have it go at a 38-yard kick. Almost in the middle, into the wind. It's not quite as strong as it's been. Connor Culp, the senior, right-footed kicker from 38 yards. He's got the leg and missed it to the left. So Hermiston's defense with a big sack from the crew of Fernandez and Caldwell forced the Titans to come up empty on their second drive of 2016. 3:04 left in the first quarter. And Hermiston is leading 7-6. Definitely had enough leg to get there, but pulled it off to the left, kind of a hook.
That's what Hermiston needed. They needed that stop, that penalty needed there. And now they're back on offense.
Illegal shift took Ciofile's 8-yard touchdown run off of the books. Mitch Brown is running, gets tackled up high and pulls forward for a yard up to the 24-yard line. Hermiston starting on their own 23 this drive, under 3 minutes left in the first quarter, leading by 1. Now a 2nd and 9 facing the Bulldogs. Salinas and Ramirez will go to the left. Neal and Anna to the right. For James with Brown to his left shoulder and a pistol set. James directing traffic, takes the snap, straight drop, looking to throw, over the middle, rifles one low, Neal dives down and picks it up off of the turf to the 41-yard line for first down yardage and a gain of 17.
Across the 40 to the 41-yard line, good for the first and 10.
That middle of the field look has been open a couple of times, and Deshaun Neal would have been the guy throwing that for the first 5 weeks last season until he got an ankle injury that kept him out for the rest of the year. Now he's the one catching the pass from Andrew James. First and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 41 as they break a huddle. 2 receivers to the right side. H-back Ramirez right as well, and there's movement. Front of the line from Union jumped into the neutral zone. I think that offside penalty is going to go against the Titans. Push the Hermiston Bulldogs 5 yards further to the east. And first down and 5 from the 46-yard line. 2:07 left in the first quarter. And for the Bulldogs, a 7-6 lead. Brown straight behind James and a pistol set on this 1st and 5. Sophomore quarterback takes a snap, turns, hands to Brown. Brown edges to his right now. Jump cuts back to the left. It is bobbled up in the backfield. He'll lose yardage. pushed back 3 yards to the 43-yard line. And in the backfield, Smith for the Titans, along with Brandon Thomas, the senior.
Ball was spotted back inside the 45, 43-yard line.
Yeah, they lost 3 yards that time.
Second
That was
and 8.
just absolutely getting off the snap of the ball really quick and plugging it inside.
Union's got 3 down linemen, and then 2 outside linebackers have walked up to give a 5-man front look on 2nd and 8. James flips into the backfield. Hinkle on the swing pass, barrels forward, and he tackles his tackler as he gets up to the 49-yard line. That's another guy with Deshaun Neal getting his ankle injury last year. You also lost Jonathan Hinkle for a significant amount of time because of a broken bone. Hermiston really, by the end of the season, was kind of a mash unit as far as injuries go. 3rd and 2 after the gain. Left hash mark set from the 49-yard line. Hermiston has not had success running inside zone. James with Hinkle behind him on the 3rd and 2. Hand to Hinkle. Hinkle's got space this time. Barrels down the left hash mark into Union territory to the 48-yard line. Give him 3 and move the chains for Hermiston with 33 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Bulldogs leading by 1.
Across the midfield, striking the Titan territory, get for the 1st and 10.
And that's all the
On the
line
play
you
for
can
the
expect
Titans
to
in the
do.
43.
Eric is getting that push for 2 or 3 seconds, especially on one
Carr
arm.
and Chin.
And that back has got to be making the cut.
1st and 10
side
Bulldogs.
of the other and going hard.
Neal alone to the left, short side of the field. Trip options to the right for Andrew James. Final 18 seconds of the first quarter. Hermiston by 1. Mitch Brown will move out of the backfield, flip it that way onto the right side, and he's tackled right at the midfield stripe. It'll be a 2-yard loss on the first down play, but for Union, there's cause for concern as the hit will leave their man down. The scoreboard flipped off as well, but it was right near the end of the first quarter. Yes, 2.3 seconds remaining in this quarter before the injury pause. And the Union coaching staff is out along with Hermiston's training crew to check on the tackler who took down Mitch Brown on the swing pass out to the right. Loss of 2, Hermiston will have a 2nd down and 12, and that will be how the second quarter gets us started as they try to help up, and they do get Brandon Ensley, a 5'6" junior, back up to his feet, the secondary man for the Union Titans. So they will whistle this ball back into play, but 2.3 seconds, and Hermiston, unlikely they would run another play here before the end of the first quarter. It does appear they will end the first quarter of the 2016 season up by 1 point. Andrew James to Deshaun Neal, 24 yards out. After Neal kicked the extra point, it's the 7-6 lead following Joseph Ciofile opening the scoring with an 8-yard touchdown run, but 2-point conversion failed. Final seconds tick off the clock, and we are to the end of the first quarter. On AM 1360 KOHU. Start the second quarter in Bulldog Stadium on Kennison Field. Hermiston leads the visiting Union Titans as 7-6. Hermiston attacking right to left towards the west end zone into the setting sky. Andrew James, a 2nd down and 12 facing the Bulldogs. Strip receivers left. Looking to the left on a wide receiver screen, has it into Neal's hand. Neal catches, breaks one tackle, and is tripped up. Tackled at the shoelaces by Kai Gimbel at the 43-yard line of Union. Picks up 7 yards on the pass play. And Neal has been the safety blanket here for Andrew James, the sophomore, as he starts his time as Hermiston quarterback. 3rd and 5 facing the Bulldogs. James with 2 receivers to his right. Union showing pressure up the middle. Now they'll back it off. James turns and hands off. It's Hinkle. Hinkle has a hole. Stutter steps around him and down the middle of the field to the 33-yard line. First down yardage for the Bulldogs.
Inside 35.
He hit that hole so quick and hard. They didn't know what was coming at them.
The Bulldogs' offensive line is starting to create just that, Sonny. It's holes.
It is, and they're starting to get their understanding that they've got to push this line. You know, that this is not a huge defensive line.
A minute gone in the second quarter. Hermiston by 1 into Union territory at the 33 on 1st down and 10. James takes a snap, rolling to the right side, looking to throw. Steps around a defender, turning back to his left. He tripped over his own offensive lineman. A.J. Fernandez got driven back on the backside of the play. And when James tried to double back, Fernandez was right at his feet. And so Union pressures in the sack. And it's a big loss for Hermiston. 11 yards at a 2nd down and 21 facing the Bulldogs at the 44-yard line in Union territory.
Loss of 11.
Unfortunately, you're
2nd
right.
and 21.
You got to counter it with a sack there, but you know it's awful hard to do that whenever your offensive lineman got pushed up deep in the offensive line.
Tucker Salinas wide to the right. Neal is in the slot right. Ramirez to the left, along with Enna. Straight drop for James. Looking to set up a screen. Dumps it to the left side for Hinkle. Flag out on the play. Hinkle is dumped in the backfield. Sniffed out well by the Union linebacking core. And there was just no chance for Hinkle to get any space to run, as Alex Barrett, the junior linebacker, was the first to the point of attack. A flag out on the play as well. And it looks like this is going to be against Hermiston. I would imagine that it would be declined. Keith Shepard, the defensive captain, is standing there to tell the White Hat just that. 9 minutes, 57 seconds left in the second quarter. Hermiston 7, Union 6. What a minute ago looked like a promising drive is starting to go the wrong direction for Hermiston.
On the offense, number 54, holding, that penalty is
And it was
declined.
holding
3rd down.
on Fernandez, declined by Union. So back to the 47-yard line. Hermiston is looking at a country mile to go here on 3rd down. James with Hinkle standing to his left has twin receivers each way. Union 5 guys along the line they'll rush for. James time to throw in the pocket. Deep ball down the far sideline. Jump ball for Enna. And Enna battling for it. Was able to come down with the ball. Brandon Inslee ends up, it looked like taking the ball initially, and Enna took it right away from him. So Vaimu has the catch that's good for the 1st down. And first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Right hash mark set at the 14. James again, 2 receivers each way. Hinkle behind him. Play action, throw out to the near sideline. High for Ramirez through his hands. He's hit, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf. Xander Kell on the coverage. In the secondary, Union does have a lot of guys. Their specialists are going both ways as well, as Xander Kell and Kai Gimbel has been the most important receiver for the sophomore Lincoln Victor. Are both playing double duty, just like Enna and Neal and Ramirez, Gutierrez and Salinas. 2nd and 10. 9:12 left in the second quarter. and a 7-6 lead for Hermiston. James, 2 receivers each way. Flag out, movement up front, and I think Hermiston, left side of the line, came out of that stance before the ball had been snapped to James. It's like this is going to be another opportunity where Hermiston gets pushed backwards. It is. A false start, 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
The white ad describes it as everybody but the ball. Well, you give him the microphone and it just becomes open night. David Faitete wants a timeout. 9:12 left in the second quarter. Sensing this is a big drive, up 7-6, Bulldogs will take a timeout. We'll take it as well. Back in 60 at AM 1360 KOHU. Hermiston uses their first timeout. Bulldog cheerleaders leading a Go Bulldogs chant with 9:12 left in the second quarter. Hermiston, after a 5-yard penalty, has a second down and 15, just across the 20-yard line in Union territory. Attacking right to left, leading by 1. Mitch Brown waved out of the backfield to the left side. High pass picked off and coming to the near side is Smith. He breaks a tackle down the near sideline 40. And after the races he goes. Check that, not Smith, but Victor, the quarterback, is the defensive back who has a pickoff returned almost 90 yards for a touchdown.
On the interception, touchdown Titan.
Yeah, that time there, Victor jumped underneath that little screen pass, and unfortunately Andrew did not see it in time, and wide open, and one block and off to the races.
Looked like it came out quite a bit high as well. So, first time, instead of having Connor Culp kick an extra point, they had Xander Kell try to throw one. This time Culp will kick, and he'll split the uprights.
Kick is good.
Union back in front, 13-7 the scoreline with 8:59 left in the second quarter. And Hermiston held on to a lead for really a lion's share of the first quarter plus until that change of momentum right there. But it hasn't been clean. There's been a lot on both sides of the ball that has looked like week 1 football.
Yeah, there's definitely some missed blocks. Putting the ball up in the air, getting it taken away from them. And then just not some really big tackling. Yeah, you can tell that both these teams have missed their first game out. They just have not tackled. Watching this young kid kick the football earlier before the game, he's got the leg to put it through the broad backside on the end zone. He was kicking to the scoreboard back behind the
So it's the senior, Connor Culp, now kicking with the wind at his back over towards Hermiston High School, which is off to our right beyond the east end zone. Jonathan Hinkle and Deshaun Neal are back to receive for Hermiston, both standing around the 10. So if Culp does what you talked about, Sonny. He will put it well over their heads, but it's another squibber to the near sideline and let go out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Illegal procedure. And I think Scott Hammond is saying, we're going to have him kick it again. That was the MO for Hermiston for quite some time. Is if you're going to kick it out, we're going to move you back 5 yards and have you do it again.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team, 5-yard penalty, will re-kick the ball.
And that's going to be the case, as Hermiston is going to have them kick again. The goal being try to get them to put the ball back into the hands of Hermiston's return team.
Yeah, I hope, like I said, I watched him earlier, his kicking and stuff like that. Kid has a leg. This might be a little bit of a reach for him, but if he wins, we'll see what happens. This Hermiston's deep. What is it? The shot is about 10. No, it's Christian.
Well, no, they switched Christensen and Deshawn. So Deshawn has moved up into that spot where Culp has been picking out because he hasn't kicked one deep yet in gameplay. And so Neal is in the second level along with Rorman. And Christensen is deep along with Jerry Ramirez. So Hinkle's moved even farther up. He's in the third level. Culp will kick a low squibber down the middle of the field, and it is picked up by Rorman. Rorman at the 30, Stoddard steps and then pushes along the right hash mark to the 35-yard line.
Tyler Rorman on the return.
So, you know, exactly where you would have had it with the illegal procedure penalty as well. But the goal is try to get it into the hands of your specialists and see if they can make some magic. Just wasn't any going to be done there. 8:53 left in the second quarter, and Union out in front now after the interception returned 85 yards for a touchdown by Lincoln Victor. It's a 13-7 lead for the visitors from Vancouver. First down and 10 from the 35, right hash mark set for Andrew James. He's got two receivers to the left. H-back that way as well. Hand off to Hinkle, running left side. Hinkle will keep driving his feet and get a couple of yards up the middle of the field to the 37-yard line. Mark it all the way up to the 38, so a 3-yard gain for Hinkle on the first down run. Bulldogs have been huddling on drives until they get their first down, and then if they convert a first down, they've been going tempo from there. But this team with a new sophomore quarterback and new faces in a lot of different places along the offensive line and at the specialist positions has some patience to it on second down and 7. Flag out, delay a game against Hermiston.
On the offense, dead ball, delay a game. Up here from the previous spot, replay second down.
It did feel quick there, but I don't have a stopwatch going from the ready to play. 8:08 left in the second quarter. The delay of game means now a second down and 12 facing Hermiston back at the 33-yard line. Neal goes wide to the right side. Joey Gutierrez is wide to the left. Slot receiver in the H-back right as well for James. Man-to-man look for Union and a flag out. And delay of game again for Hermiston.
Dead ball, delay a game. Offense, 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay second down.
That was 18 seconds.
So second down and 17 for Hermiston. They'll use the same formation, same play. James takes the snap, fakes a handoff, throws out to the right side. Neal has it there. Neal trying to spin off of a tackler, cannot wriggle himself free, and is brought down for a loss. It was Victor who made the tackle. Clock spinning. A little more than 7 minutes left in the first half. Hermiston trailing by 6. Mitch Brown's in the backfield along with the sophomore Andrew James. Trips receivers to the left and a man alone to the right. On third down and long, James stays in the pocket, throws over the middle, and another interception. And this time going to the far sideline, it is Ciofile inside the 25 and down near the 23-yard line. Reached up and picked one out of the air that was intended for Deshaun Neal, but underthrown. So the second interception for the sophomore, returned back to the 25-yard line.
That's there. It's almost there. It's like when Hermiston sending the receivers out, they're gonna, number one, they're playing a 2-on-1 on Deshaun. They've got a guy shadowing him off the middle, and nobody's getting a push, and that's exactly because he never did see this other guy coming off from the backside there.
6 minutes, 48 seconds left in the second quarter on the turnover. Hermiston trailing Union 13-7, and Union's got the ball deep in Hermiston territory at the 23-yard line, first down and 10. For Lincoln Victor's already returned a interception for a touchdown. He'll lob one right corner too far. Trying for a fade route out to Kai Gimbel to the near sideline.
Victor's pass falls incomplete.
And the incompletion will bring up a second down and 10. That was a little bit reminiscent of Mark Hodges' heyday, as after a turnover, the Bulldogs would, especially when they got great field position, immediately go for the jugular and try to get a quick strike on the first play. So, Lincoln Victor on second down and 10 has Ciofile to his left. Straight drop, looking to throw, screen play, too high, and check that, not Ciofile in the backfield, but that time Elijah Jones. And incompleted pass will bring up a third down and 10. You got to wonder if Union considers themselves in 4-down territory. Third down and 10 from the 23. Jones to the right. Victor will throw near sideline, space out of the flat, catch. Inslee makes a man miss and gets down to the 18-yard line.
Pass complete to number 1, Braden Inslee.
Inslee's gain is good for 5, and it's 4th down and 5, but it was 4-down territory for the Titans. Going with no huddle, 3 receivers to the left side for Victor. Victor takes a snap, looking to throw. Rifles one over the middle, diving play at the goal line, incomplete. The back judge says that Union trapped the ball. The Union receiver trapped the ball. And a considerable amount of disbelief for Keithan Shepard. Turnover on downs with 6:06 left in the second quarter, and Union holding on to the 13-7 lead. Hermiston might have got a bit of luck there on that play at the goal line. Not necessarily that insinuating there was a wrong call, insinuating that Shepard's inches away from having a touchdown. Union's got the wrong personnel on the field, and they still had enough time to get the new bodies out of the field. Hand off to Hinkle, running left side, flag out as Hinkle is shoved out of bounds on the Hermiston sideline at the 23-yard line. Gained 5 on the play, but the flag came out from the umpire. And it's going to go against Hermiston for holding. Union's got to decide if they're going to go for it. One of those plays where later on recognition for really everybody would put Hermiston in a situation where his Union was trying to switch personnel there on the turnover on downs to get a quick snap play out. They'll go 10 yards back from the spot, so the holding occurred at the 20. That means the line of scrimmage is the 10. First down and 18 facing the Bulldogs. James just outside of zone end zone with his toes on the 5-yard line. Union will bring pressure. Hand off to Hinkle. Hinkle gets up back to the 10-yard line, running down the left hash mark. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second quarter. And Union's lead is 13-7 over the Bulldogs here in Hermiston tonight. Opening night of the 2016 season. And a couple of teams that were held to just 4 wins a year ago trying to open up this campaign with one in the win column. Second and 18. James bends at the waist, hands out in front, takes a snap. Quick throw over to the right side, high, but Neal pulls it down. Neal gets across the 15, and he limps his way outside the numbers to the 19-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play to Neal.
Now we're seeing some of those big bodies that were normally on the offensive line. They're on that defensive line.
Third down and 9. James with 3 receivers to his left. Straight drop for the sophomore quarterback. Blitz hits as he throw down the far sideline on a leaping catch by out at the midfield stripe into Union territory to the 49-yard line. Andrew James got popped on a linebacker blitz by Xander Kell as he delivered that pass. But Hermiston gets out of the shadow of their goalpost with 4:39 left in the second quarter, trailing by 6. And the tail of the ball on the midfield stripe, right hash mark after the big catch by Vaimuena. A couple of big catches in traffic for him in the first half. James takes a snap, turns, fakes a handoff, throws near sideline, too high for Tucker Salinas, incomplete. Trying to set up the wide receiver tunnel screen where the receiver wide to the left comes back to the middle of the field. But again, the pass sailed.
Coverage on the play for the Titans, number 5.
Salinas will switch out with Tyler Rorman. And it's second and 10 from the 50. Rorman wide to the right side. Gutierrez is to the left. And looks like we have a bit of equipment issue with Bo Blake. It was brief, however. And so the senior left guard is given the ready to play by the white hat, and we are at second down and 10. Clock spinning, 4:15 left in the first half. James in a pistol set with Hinkle standing behind him. 2 receivers options to the left, Rorman alone to the right. James turns, rifles quickly, right side into the slot, completion, right near the first down marker to Rorman. Across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Should have enough to move the chains for Hermiston.
Ball is spotted inside the 40 at the 39. Good for the first and 10.
4 minutes left in the first half. Hermiston trailing 13-7. James hooked up with Deshaun Neal from 24 yards out for Hermiston's score in this game. First down and 10. Toss to Hinkle. Hinkle in the backfield is caught and dropped. And a lot of barking by Gimbel after the play. He actually has some teammates pulling him away. Check that, it wasn't Gimbel, it was actually Victor, the sophomore, who had the interception, returned 85 yards for a touchdown, the last score of this game. It was about 6 minutes of game clock ago. Second and 12 after the loss of 2. Brown in the backfield to the right of James. Twin receivers each way. James straight drop looking left. Blitzed, he gets away from the pressure. Pump fakes and he'll run near sideline. James wrestles right into a tackler who drives him back towards the 40-yard line, but forward progress to the 36. Ooh, bad spot. They give him the 37 and a gain of 4 yards on the play. Right into Brandon Thomas, the 6'5", 205-pound senior defensive lineman, who will check out on this play. Replaced by a little bit more height in Aiden Neller, 6'5", 215-pound lineman. And a timeout called for the Bulldogs with 2:35 left in the second quarter. Union 13 and Hermiston 7.
Second of the half.
The Lifetime Vision Star scoreboard tomorrow, the 8-man classic in Dufur. Echo will start things off at 10 a.m. Siletz Valley is the opponent for the Cougars. Their rival, Ione, will play in the nightcap in Dufur at 7:30 tomorrow. Ione taking on Triad, the tough private school out of Klamath Falls. Pilot Rock was at Imbler earlier this afternoon. Tonight at this time, Stanfield is hosting Enterprise. Hefner is at St. Paul. Irrigan and Amity are playing in the Dalles. Riverside's at Tri-Cities Prep, and Umatilla is hosting a different Union, obviously, over at Milterand Field. Last night, McLaughlin beat Waitsburg in their season opener, the Pioneers 14, and the Waitsburg squad from just across the Washington border 7. Around the IMC tonight, Ridgeview is hosting Thurston. Mountain View has South Albany in Central Oregon. Hood River Valley has welcomed St. Helens to Henderson Stadium. Bend is at Central, Pendleton's at LeGrand, Redmond hosting Jefferson, and Summit at Clackamas. 3rd down and 8, handoff to Brown coming near sideline, and Brown just has no space to run. Hermiston's run game has not found any joy in this first half. 2:25 left in the second quarter. The clock is spinning after the stop by Andretti, and a 13-7 lead is still Union's. Four down territory for the Bulldogs. Vaimuenu's had a couple of big traffic catches wide to the right. Neal, who has the touchdown reception to the right along with Ramirez. Salinas alone to the left. James looking to throw right side. Now we'll pull it down, looking to run left. He's going to have to hustle, shoulder down, and runs over top of Abe Smith. But Smith is able to make the stop at the 31-yard line, and it will force a turnover on downs to give the ball back to the Titans with 1:46 seconds left in the second quarter. Leading 13-7, and the team from Vancouver does have their full complement of timeouts.
Ball spot the 31-yard line. Titans will take over on down.
Series by Hermiston, they were able to go ahead and keep the football going, just run out of a little bit of ability to go ahead and get a push on that offensive line. Like I said, right now,
1st and 10 Union.
Union had been switching in some of the, at least one of the offensive linemen they had out there, is that left tackle on defense, kind of neutralizing it.
Lincoln Victor, 1st down and 10, lobs it near sideline, and Smith's got some space coming across the right side and across the midfield stripe. Ball is out, pile around the 45, and it looks like Union got back on top of it. And they did with Ciofile.
Penalty marker on the play.
Penalty flag out, however. And it's over from the far sideline on that 1st down play. And Union's going backwards, so it is against them. John Henry Line is having it explained that you can take the penalty and they'll go back there, or you can let them be all the way up in your territory.
Number 22.
Pretty simple. Holding penalty.
Spotted the foul. Replay. Scout.
And it's a spot foul from the 33, so move it back to the 23-yard line. And the 1st down, pardon me, will be 1st down and 18. Lincoln Victor will move the man out of the backfield and lob it that way. Backwards pass caught by Jones. Jones hit the backfield and loses yards back to the 18-yard line.
Victor's pass complete.
Going the wrong way with 1:22 left in the second quarter. Hermiston's got one timeout left.
19.
And it might be interesting to see how quickly Union
2nd and 18.
will run this play. They aren't huddling. They are looking to go quick on 2nd down and 22. Straight drop. Victor steps up out of the pocket near sideline. Flag out from behind the play for holding. Victor is caught and taken down from behind Run down on the play by Taylor Arnold. Right tackle for the Bulldogs that Rick Wells, the new offensive line coach, says could be the best of the bunch eventually. He is so coachable, plus his technique is incredibly good. This will be interesting because that tackle might have been for just a gain of 1. And Hermiston probably, I would think, would decline this penalty. Take the result of the play, a 3rd down and 21 to still face Union. And they could use their timeout.
Holding, number 69, that penalty's declined, 3rd down.
So they will decline the holding. 53.3 seconds left at its 3rd down. And now will Union use a timeout? No, the flag is still out on the field. Halftime in Hood River in Henderson Stadium. St. Helens has got a 21-6 lead over the Hood River Valley Eagles on our Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard network. So the clock is spinning, 3rd down and 21. Victor slaps his hands together, twin receivers each way. Turns and hands off. Jones edging to the right side. Has some space. Jones spins off of the tackle after they tried to strip the ball. Into Hermiston territory. Run out of bounds and shoved out late by Joey Gutierrez. It's going to be a huge run for Jones plus add-on 15. And the Union Titans still with 3 timeouts left and 37.3 seconds remaining are going to be knocking on the door. Not just the big run, but the broken tackle. Going for the ball instead of the man. And for Hermiston, it's going to put him in a tough situation here. I'm not exactly sure what the big conversation is here. Down at the 35-yard.
On the defense, personal foul, they hit out of bounds.
So it was a 46-yard gain, and then you add 15 yards onto that down to the 20-yard line. Some boos from Hermiston, but I don't know why. It was a bad play by Gutierrez. The running back Jones was 2 steps into the white on the sideline. Throw over the middle, too high, and some pleas by Shepard for a pass interference as he and Neal will jaw with each other back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 for Union. 33.5 seconds remaining. Jones still in the backfield. Shepard and Gimble to the right. And now Gimble's going to switch sides with Ensley. Alex Vallejo is wide to the left side. Victor takes a snap, hands off to Jones, running right side. Jones probing his way behind his big offensive line and gets down to the 17-yard line, gaining 3 yards on the play. Timeout is called by the first-year head coach Rory Rosenbach with 25.9 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Titans are looking to add on to a 13-7 lead. And maybe the bigger thing, Joey's penalty was tough. They're going to put 3 seconds back on the clock. Joey's penalty was tough at the end of the play, but the bigger thing was 5-10 yards into the run, instead of tackling the man, trying to strip the ball meant that instead of a gain that would have brought up a 4th down and 5, it's a 46-yard gain. I'm not entirely convinced that there are a lot of week ones across the annals of high school football where the tackling is good, but you do have to take into consideration that the number of contact days is so much lower than even a decade ago, because we know now that the repetitive head injuries and the dangers behind that. But at the same time, it means less opportunities to tackle at live speed in the preseason. And so these first couple of weeks, the tackling is often spotty. 28.6 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. Union 13, Hermiston 7. At a 3rd down and 8 facing the Titans in Hermiston territory at the 18-yard line. Victor, straight drop, looking to throw right side, lobs it to the corner, jump ball for Shepard, goes up with one hand, and he brings it down, shows it to the official, and says that's a one-handed catch for a touchdown. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he brought that in. Neal was in the right spot to defend, and somehow the 5'10" senior wide receiver, Keithan Shepard, with his right hand, was able to pull that one in. Highlight type stuff for the Titans. QU, back in your day, you had Stickum. But even Stickum wouldn't have allowed you to make the catch. The gloves these days. Cope for the kick. To add the extra point, Hermiston gets some pressure off the edge. The kick, though, is true.
Kick is good. And
with 22.7 seconds remaining in the second quarter, the 1-score deficit becomes a 2-score deficit for Hermiston, 20-7 in favor of the visiting Union Titans. I mean, I don't want to go too over the top with that catch, but Victor Cruz type stuff there. I mean, the one-handed, and he's not just reaching up at his farthest stretch, but he's reaching back as well, and somehow brings that in as he's coming down. An interesting additional coach on the sidelines here, at least tonight. Trey Neal, the all-state defensive lineman for the past 2 years at the 5A level. Last 2 years, the Columbia River Conference Player of the Year. Having a conversation with Corey Mason, Hermiston's defensive tackle. Neal is gray shirting at Eastern Washington University, so here tonight. Bounding ball picked up on the far sideline. Rurman coming to the left and gets upfield to the 35-yard line. Bulldogs have a timeout and 16.5 seconds remaining in the second quarter, trailing Union 20-7. And before that last play can run, an injury. Oh, it was Hinkle. Dan Emery is out. And the longtime trainer here at Hermiston High School, a position that is provided by the Good Shepherd Community Health Foundation, is taking a look at Hinkle. Now for Hermiston, the offense has not really had a running game. But at the same time, Hinkle has, when they have had any positive yardage, he's been the one who's gotten it. Another week one sighting is the early in the evening cramps Nightfall has almost taken full hold here at Kennison Field and Bulldog Stadium. The lights are illuminating the festivities. The final 16.5 seconds in the second quarter. And Hermiston trailing 20-7. Andrew James hands out in front, high snap, pulls it down, turns it hands off. Peter Earl in the backfield, finds his space out to the left side. Earl takes a big whack, but he gets up to the 40-yard line at a 5-yard run for Earl. It was Adrian Andrade laying the wood for the Union Titans. Hermiston will call the timeout and pause the clock with 2.9 seconds remaining
Timeout.
in the second quarter.
Third and a half.
Can't take the timeouts with you. You might as well drop one play in the dirt here and see if you can find some magic.
Please reset the clock. Already in 5 seconds.
But you just saw the change, not too much of a difference in speed, but Earl more of a little bit of a scout back type running back that he's able to go ahead and escalate to the first that was about to get and pick up the extra field.
Coming up in our halftime program, brought to you by Tom Denchel Ford Country, we will hear from the new athletic director across the Hermiston School District, Larry Usher. You heard portions of this interview last week on the Tailgate Show. This interview originally aired a couple of weeks ago on KOHU's Odds and Ends program when I took over the program for the day from Jennifer Colton. Second down and 6 from the 41-yard line. James takes a snap, turns and hands off. It's Earl again, running left side to the near sideline. He will go out of bounds, but it will be the last play of the first half. As Earl gets some positive yardage up to they will say the 46-yard line is where he gets marked. And so give Earl a 6-yard gain and a first down for Hermiston. But as they go into the locker room at half, it is Union with a 20-7 lead over the Hermiston Bulldogs. And the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show is coming up. 2 minutes and we're back with the athletic director, Larry Usher, on AM 1360 KOHU.
Hello, marching band enthusiasts. This is the first public performance of the 2016 field show performed by the Hermiston High Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. Sean McClanahan, Assistant Director Steve Anderson, Color Guard Instructors Adrian Rodarte and Paulo Messi. Uniform is provided by Alice Newman, Tony Anderson, and Terry Ferguson. This year's field cadets are Davis, Amanda Harris, David Torres, Austin Grant, and Willis Roll. This year's field show is titled Rock Art. It's a compilation of music from 3 artists, Draft Punk, Bastille, and Fallout 4. Tonight the band will perform the first 2 movements, 1 Draft Punk Medley, and movement 2, Pompeii. And sit back and enjoy the Hermiston High Marching Band. Hermiston drum major Alec Wilson, is your band ready? You may take the field for halftime entertainment.
I had you move it up because this kept bumping you. Tom Dutchell half-time show continues with the Hermiston Marching Band walking out after a halftime performance, their stadium performance. And at halftime and opening night, the team out of Vancouver, Washington, Union, has a 20-7 lead over the Hermiston Bulldogs. Union struck a first, Joseph Saofile, with an 8-yard touchdown run. They failed to convert a 2-point conversion, so a 6-0 lead for them with about 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Hermiston on the very next drive would start to move the ball, and Andrew James would finish off the drive with a nicely weighted 24-yard touchdown pass lobbed to Deshaun Neal. Neal then would kick the extra point to put Hermiston in front 7-6. In the second quarter, Hermiston was driving, but a James pass was intercepted by Lincoln Victor, the sophomore who plays both defensive back and quarterback, returned it 85 yards to put Union in front 13-7. And then Victor was able to hook up with Keithan Shepard, who had one of the prettiest right-handed, one-handed catches you're going to see in the corner of the end zone with just a half minute remaining in the first half. And the 20-yard touchdown strike with the extra point from Connor Culp would make it a 20-7 lead for the Titans. Hermiston's had some positives here in the first half, but Union's had a few more. Probably the biggest level of concern is going to be Hermiston's inability to get a sustained running attack going, and that will bear itself out when we take a look at the statistics. That comes after this break. It's the Tom Mitchell Ford Country halftime show. At the half in Hermiston, Union 20 and the Bulldogs 7. Eric Olson, Sonny Levy with you. On Kennison Field in Bulldog Stadium, the visiting Union Titans have a 20-7 lead. And I went into the break saying that I thought that the running game would really be evident in the stats, or the lack of a running game. That's probably been Hermiston's toughest spot. Looking down on Hermiston's sideline, you have all three of the expected varsity potential quarterbacks throwing the ball. Andrew James throwing with Deshaun Neal, and while Deshaun has been James' favorite target, Neal is obviously still very capable if they had to go there to running the position that he ran for the first few weeks last year until he got injured. And then the third, and actually possibly second, depending on how much information you could get out of the head coach about the exact depth chart, but the quarterback from Ridgeview, Damian McLeod, who for Hermiston is most important in the linebacking corps, especially without the use of Brad Giusti, who's out this week with a knee injury. McLeod is the other potential quarterback for this Hermiston team. So James is not a position where he's going to lose his job, but just this is a contrast to the last, well, I don't remember a time. This is my 10th year here. There has never been a time where three quarterbacks could legitimately warm up on the varsity sideline during a game when one of them hadn't played JV quarters already.
Kick for the Bulldogs, number 23, Peter Earl.
Peter Earl's going to angle a kick towards the far sideline, and Hermiston was offside, and the kick went out of bounds anyway. But it's one infraction before the other, so the offside penalty will move Hermiston back 5 yards. And they will kick this second half off from the 35 instead of the 40, trailing 20-7. And if you want the starkest contrast between this Hermiston team and the 2014 state championship team, look no further than right here. Because even after a 5-yard penalty for offside, Luis Medina would have been a threat to kick it deep into the end zone. And that's just, they're missing that right now with somebody who could be a place kicker. Last year it was Freddie Rodriguez got recruited up from the soccer team. He's already had a handful of goals for Rich Harshberger's team, a couple of wins to start the season. So Earl again will kick. This one he will kick away, and they will let it bounce at the 25, on a bounce at the 23-yard line. Coming to the near sideline, Jones up to the 35. And he is taken down from behind. Emilio Ortiz, the junior, makes the tackle for Hermiston.
1st and 10, Titans.
So for Union, they will start first down and 10, leading 20-7. Here in the second half, in Hermiston, on the right hash mark at the 35-yard line. The high school is only as old as 2007. Pump fake, and it's going to be a keep. Victor up the middle. Victor's got space. Spun around at the 45, still at his feet, across midfield and into Hermiston territory. The quarterback, the sophomore for Union, rumbles all the way down to the 47-yard line. And gains 18 yards on the opening play of the second half for the Titans.
Midfield stripe in the Bulldog territory. Ball is
Yeah, it was a design draw that time. You can see it right from the beginning. Hermiston put a lot of pressure off the outside and kind of let the middle stay wide open.
First down and 10, twin receivers each way. Handoff and right up the gut. Ciofile will run down to the 41-yard line. Ciofile, we didn't see him a lot in the second quarter. He did a bit of damage in the first quarter, including scoring the opening touchdown of the 2016 season and the Rory Rosenbach era at Union High School. The new head coach is also the athletic director at that relatively new school. Second down and a long 3. Quick throw over to the near sideline. Strike to Smith inside the 35. Smith to the right hash mark, 31-yard line. And it's a first down gain. 10 yards to move the chains for the Titans. Little more than a minute gone in quarter number 3. 20-7 is the Union lead. Victor, straight drop, looking right side to set up the screen. He will dump it right into the hands of Shepard, down to the 25 and tripped up from behind. Shepard gains a 7 down to the 25-yard line. Christensen and Line in there on the stop for Hermiston. And a second down and 4 facing the Union squad. Victor straight drop, screen play, lobs it to the near sideline and hammered incomplete. Trying to get it to Smith, and Gutierrez read it and sniffed it out and smacked Smith and knocked the ball out.
Third and 4.
They're down and 4. Probably 4 down territory at the 25-yard line for the Titans. Trips receivers to the left for Lincoln Victor, the sophomore quarterback, with Ciofile to his right. Will hand off. Ciofile breaks into a hole out to the left side. Stops a tackler and slips to the right into the end zone. Ends up a 25-yard touchdown run for the Titans. Found some space initially, and then he made one man miss in the second level to get into the end zone. Xander Kell the hold, good snap. Kell's hold is down. And Hermiston got a block on the Culp attempt. So the second time that Union has failed to convert on the extra point. They failed a 2-point conversion after Ciofile got into the end zone to start off the scoring. Now with 10:06 left in the third quarter. Union 26, Hermiston 7 on opening night. A bit of breeze that has shifted, now coming out of the south and blowing across the face of the Hermiston Bulldogs from their right cheek to their left. They'll attack left to right across the radio dial here in the second half. And again, back behind everything, Damian McLeod is starting to throw the ball in earnest with Joey Gutierrez. just something to keep an eye on. These are two guys that would find themselves in number 2 spots on the offensive depth chart. Tucker Salinas is to the left. Check that. Jerry Ramirez is to the left and back of the 5-yard line. Tyler Orman is to the right. As Culp will come and kick a low squibber to the near sideline. Hinkle at the 30. Hinkle jive steps, comes out to the right side, trying to run away from a man. Tackled from behind at the 36-yard line. About a 13-yard return for Jonathan Hinkle at Hermiston, trailing 26-7. With 9:58 left in the third quarter, will take over on offense. Andrew James is coming to the huddle. Tucker Salinas will be wide to the left side. Vyman up top to the right, and Deshaun Neal in the slot to the right. Ramirez H-back to the left, Hinkle behind James. On first down and 10, the sophomore quarterback with the Bulldogs at the 36-yard line. Waits for the ready-to-play whistle. Barks some orders. Hands in front as he bends, turns. Hands off to Hinkle, running inside zone right. Hinkle gets a couple up to the 38-yard line.
Hinkle.
That play has just not been there
20, correction, up to 38 yards.
pretty much all night.
On the stop for the
It's just, with this type of defense there, we talked about it before. That's too slow. It's got to get quicker here if you're going to go in and
2nd and 8 from the 38. Left hash mark set as James looks to his right. Now under center, straight drop. Steps up in the middle, throws over the middle. It's caught by Neal right at the midfield stripe into Union territory to their 49-yard line. First down yardage on the 13-yard pitch and catch. James to his favorite target tonight, Deshaun Neal. 8th reception of the night for Neal for 132 yards, and he does have a touchdown catch. 9 minutes and 8 seconds left in the third quarter, 26-7 Union. Bulldogs drive it into Union territory. James turns, hands off. Hinkle again to the right, is caught in the backfield, and it is the very tall defensive tackle, Aiden Miller, the 6'5 junior who makes the stop, but Hinkle somehow wriggles a yard out of the gain to the 48-yard line.
The 3 names besides Andrew James, Deshaun Neal, Chase Knutz, Alex Kimball. All sophomores for last game.
2nd down and 9. James, straight drop, now rolls out to the right side. Throws as he's hit to the far sideline. It is caught. And Enna across the 40-yard line. They'll mark him right at the 40-yard line in Union territory. 8-yard gain and 1 yard for Hermiston to go.
And less than a yard.
On 3rd down. Emilio Ortiz is in the slot to the left for Hermiston on this 3rd and 1. Hinkle behind James, takes a handoff, jump steps to his left, he's caught in the backfield. And again, just no space because Union is getting through at the point of attack.
Ball is spotted back at the 42-yard line.
And this time, got to credit Andrade, the linebacker, for getting in there. It ends up dropping Hinkle for a loss of a couple. 4th down and 3 from the 42-yard line with 7:15 left in the third quarter. Bulldogs are going. Ortiz is going to be the lone man wide to the right side. Salinas in a one-on-one out to the left. James turns, hands off. Hinkle running left, and he's caught in the backfield again, and he loses a yard to the 43-yard line. And again, Andrade in the backfield along with Neller.
Titans will take over on downs, first and 10 Union at their own 42-yard line.
And right now, in a game where in the pregame we talked about the trench battle, Union is just winning it up front with their defensive line. 6:57 left in the third quarter. 26-7 is the Union lead. And a first down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Handoff up the middle for Jones. Jones will rub off of a defender over to the right side and just inside the hash mark, tackled after a 4-yard gain to the 46-yard line.
Jones and Gary got to the 47-yard line, good for about a 6-yard gain, 5-yard gain.
No huddle for the Titans on 2nd and 6. Right hash mark set. Lincoln Victor looks over to the sidelines for any signal changes. Union will all stand up. The specialists check the sideline again now. Straight drop, throw to the far sideline. Caught out there for Shepard across the midfield stripe. Shepard breaks the tackle and gets into Hermiston territory up to the 46-yard line. Check that Smith. Hayden Smith had the reception.
Christensen on the stop for the Bulldogs.
First down and 10, 6:10 left in the third quarter. Union 26, Hermiston 7. Victor slaps his hands together, turns, hands off, right up the middle. No, he kept it, he ran to the left side, faked it to Jones, and he kept it, and got inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. McLeod was in there on the stop for Hermiston, along with Mason.
Ball spotted just inside the 45 at about the 44-yard line. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Second down, 7 to go. Victor fakes a handoff, throws right side, right into the slot, and some space inside the 40-yard line, down to the tight end,
inside the 40 to
Neller.
Yard line.
And the catch is right around where they needed to get for the first down marker. In fact, it might have been close enough that they're going to have to bring the chains over.
Again on the play for the
nope.
Bulldogs. Reception was good for the first 10. Ball spotted right at the 37-yard line.
First down yardage good for Union, says the white hat. 5:23 left in the third quarter. Union 26, Hermiston 7. Neller, the tight end, will move out to the left side, giving 3 targets that way for Lincoln Victor. Elijah Jones, the back, is to Victor's left as well. First down and 10 to throw. Out into the left flat. Smith has it there. Smith breaks a tackle at the 30. Spins off of another and reaches forward to the 27-yard line. Into Hermiston territory, and it's nearly a 10-yard gain on the first down play for the Titans.
Victor's pass complete to number 2, Kevin Peterson. Penalty marker on the play.
There's a flag out on the play over on the far sideline.
On the offense, number 25, holding, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, replay first down.
Holding penalty, it was on that block. And since it's a spot foul, it moves it back to the 43-yard line. A first down and 16 facing the Titans. Jones to the right of Victor, sophomore quarterback. Flips it out to the right side. Reaching out, Gimbel catches the pass and is brought down immediately. Gets a couple of yards down to the 43, just past the original line of scrimmage on this drive.
On the stop for the Bulldogs, number 2, Deshaun Neal.
And it was Hinkle who made the tackle.
Ball spotted at the 47-yard line.
Right up the middle for Jones, into the 39-yard line he goes. A couple more yards as Union chips away. They're facing a third down and 13, however. The clock is starting to be a cause for concern for Hermiston. 4:05 left in the third quarter. Union's lead is 26-7. Victor, straight drop, looking over the middle. Steps up in the pocket, he's got space to run. Right down Broadway, he runs and dives across the 30-yard line. Into McLeod and John Henry Lyon's hands, but still, Victor's got enough for about a 11, 12-yard gain. At a 4th down and 3. Union going to try to convert quick. Hermiston brings everybody right up the middle. McLeod throws, completes it to Neller. Neller dives across the 20-yard line up to the 17, where Gutierrez and Hinkle are able to tackle him. That's a smart play from a sophomore to find Neller on that blitz and get it out quick. And Hermiston's going to call a timeout with 3:32 left in the third quarter, trailing 26-7 at Kennison Field on AM 1360 KOHU. Eric Olson, Sonny Levy with you on AM 1360 KOHU. It's a 1st and 10 for the Union Titans. A handoff to Jones. He goes up the middle, jump steps to his left. He gets inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And a trio of yards picked up for Union. Leading 26-7, 3:15 left in the third quarter. Victor to throw, right side towards the pylon, too tall. Gutierrez on the coverage. Good defense there in the secondary for Hermiston and the quick hit play. And it's a 3rd down and a 7 coming up. From the 14-yard line, right hash mark set. 3 receivers left side, empty backfield for Victor. Straight drop, looking to throw. Quickly to the right side of the screenplay. Shepard has it. Shepard breaks a tackle. John Henry Lyon bottles him up and rips him down at the 6-yard line. But enough yardage, 8, to gain another 1st down.
Inside the 10 down to the 6. Reception was good for the 1st and 10, 1st and goal. Titans.
Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard after 3 quarters. Irrigan trailing Amity 14-7. Jones takes a handoff on the 1st down and goal play from the 6, and he gets a couple.
Number 21, Elijah
down
Jones.
to the 3. Still working down the right hash mark. For Union, 2:30 left in the third quarter, trying to add on to the 26-7 lead.
Henry Lyon.
Jones to the right of Victor. The no huddle continues to roll at Hermiston. And a flag out on the play from the near sideline. No immediate indication either way, although this would seem to indicate that it's going to go against Union for a false start.
On the offense, dead ball, number 87, offsides.
And Neller's going to be caught for going early. So 5 yards back will push Union a little ways away from the end zone. Back to the 8. And a 2nd and goal. Lincoln Victor takes a snap, looking to throw left side, rips it out there, and off of the fingertips of Kell. Kell's looking around going, hey, Tyler Herman was holding my hands before that ball was even thrown. The ball cut in. That's right, kids. That's a dancing joke. 3rd down and 8. Getting a little punchy here late in the 3rd quarter, am I? Jones to the right will take a handoff running. Look out in the backfield. Deep for a loss by McLeod. The transfer from Central Oregon makes the big tackle back to the 14-yard line. 5-yard loss, and it's a 4th down and goal back at the 14. And the special teams will come out. We do have an update now from the Dowls, the lovely home of the now independent Riverhawks. And it is a 26-13 lead for Amity over Irrigan with 6 minutes to go. Cope will try from 30.
Penalty marker on the play.
29, and then Neal ran right into the holder. So the officials all get together here and discuss this one. Neal came off the edge, the backside of the holder. And it's a right-footed kicker, so the back is due.
We have a moment here. A very special thank you from the athletic director, Larry Usher.
Minute 19 left in the 3rd quarter.
Cheerleader.
Union 26, Hermiston 7.
Such a wonderful job.
There was incredibly exciting news here at Hermiston High School before the game tonight. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that a more permanent mascot, it's still a Bulldog,
On the defense.
and I think I heard the name was Boomer.
That'll be a 5-yard
I think it was
penalty
Boomer.
ensued on the kickoff.
All right, so they just went running into the kicker. It'll be a 5-yard penalty on the kickoff.
119 remaining.
And the 29-yard field goal is good to make it Union 29, Hermiston 7. Bulldogs need a little bit of positive something out of this drive here.
Start the Indians quarter off right and start the quarter off.
Opening night for Hermiston, and the trip up to Lewiston next week for Sonny and I, as the Bulldogs will take on the Bengals at Bengals Stadium. 7 o'clock is the kickoff. And as ever, radio coverage will start with the Weimar Bulldog Tailgate Show at 5:30 here on KOHU and streaming online at GoHermiston.com. Minute 19 left in this 3rd period. Union 29, Hermiston 7. The breeze at the back of Connor Colt. Although he has squibbed each of his opportunities thus far.
And it looks like it's on, it's definitely on purpose that he's doing it, because I know he's got a leg. He's on that extra point that you picked out there. That one almost had a stroke over it. That was how deep it was earlier. The field goal was halfway to
High spinning kick that will be taken at the 10-yard line. Neal edges to the near sideline, hoping to get some electricity across the 20. That's where he is bottled up by a bundle of white shirts. And it's a 12-yard return for Deshaun Neal to the 22-yard line.
22-yard line. On the stop,
Union 29, Hermiston 7 with a minute 10 left in the 3rd period. And the Bulldogs offense back in control. Three receivers to the right side for Andrew James, back to his left. James looking to throw, pressure to the backfield. He will be flushed right into a bundle of pressure.
No gain.
And Kai Gembel's not going to get credit for the sack, but he's the one who forced James back up into the pocket and into the trouble. Ends up getting back to the line of scrimmage, so no loss on the play. Second down and 10. James looking to throw. Right side, he'll go to the far sideline. Popped out of Neal's hands. Incomplete.
Pass from James falls incomplete. Intended receiver number 2, Deshaun Neal.
Final 34.8 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And it's a 29-7 lead. Third down and 10 for Hermiston from the 23. James pistol set with Hinkle behind him. Twin receivers each way. Hands off to Hinkle running left. Hinkle, maybe a yard or two.
Number 28.
And that was the side Hermiston was hoping to have some success running behind. And for the first time tonight, they will, the second time tonight, they'll send the punt crew out. And Damian McLeod
set the kick for the Bulldogs, number 6.
Will kick away.
Damian McLeod deep to receive for the Titans. Number 3, Kenneth Shepard.
But that's the end of the third quarter. Union 29, Hermiston 7. Fourth quarter on opening night to come on AM 1360 KOHU. Union has seized control of this game with a couple of scores in the third quarter, 29-7. Damian McLeod will punt it away, and it is partially blocked. Checks up at the 32-yard line, and the Union Titans will have a good field position at the 37 to start things off. They came right down the middle, and it's just another example of where Hermiston has lost the battle in between the big men in this game.
Offensive wise, now they go from big to bigger, and they just make more positive.
Quarterback change, and Nehru Fa'alevau is in. He will step up at a quarterback draw right up the middle at the 30, 25 out to the right side, and at the hash mark he's brought down just short of the 20-yard line. Tackled by Mason out there.
On the carry for the Titans.
So
Nehru
Fa'alevau is in at the quarterback position. Tommy Strassenbert, a senior, gets to be the running back now. He's to the right of Fa'alevau on first down and 10 from the 21. Fa'alevau over the middle. Dropped by Naylor right before he got smacked by Enna.
Pass was intended
Naylor's had a couple of good catches in this game, but there's a drop right there. And it brings up second down and 10 for the Titans.
Second and 10.
Clock is paused with 33 seconds gone in the fourth period. And handoff up the middle. Big hole for Strassenberg breaks out to his left and runs it all the way in for 21 yards out. And right now it's not just the battle in the trenches, but there is a little bit of a gut check going on for Hermiston. And David Faitete was wondering, he told us in Chalk Talk earlier today, what would this team do after it got punched in the mouth?
Number 9, Connor Culp.
He said punched in the teeth. Connor Culp had his last point after attempt blocked. He will get this one away and drive it through. 11 minutes and 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Union 36, Hermiston 7 on AM 1360 KOHU. 11 minutes, 18 seconds left in regulation on opening night of the 2016 season. The team from Vancouver Union has a 36-7 lead. Another squiver picked up by an up man at the 21-yard line. Running back to the middle of the park. And Hinkle gets it up to the 36-yard line. Hermiston will have some good field position again. Offense has had a bit of trouble getting going here in a scoreless second half so far. And now Hermiston's got an injury question again, and it's Hinkle again. And it kind of appears that possibly the same issue from earlier tonight to cramping up on this opening night. So Lewiston next week for the Bulldogs. And then following that, the Intermountain Conference schedule starts in earnest. In fact, it starts with the longtime rival, as there's a round of applause for Hinkle, who's actually able to jog over to the near sideline himself. It is Mountain View on the 16th of September. That'll be the first IMC contest. I told Sonny and Joe this earlier. I'm not calling it Special District 1. That's silly. It's the Intermountain Conference. We know it's the IMC. We were all in it. We know we're all going back in it. James on a keeper coming to the near sideline. Caught from behind. And he'll get about 5 or 6 yards up to the 42-yard line.
Outside the 42-yard line. Call it down, number 11.
Our good friend Joe Thompson. I didn't think it was a horse collar. He got the shirt, but he kind of let go because he knew what had happened, the tackler. James takes a snap, fakes a handoff to Brown, throws out to the left side, some space for Salinas. Salinas with some speed across the midfield stripe. Flag out on the play as there's a bunch of pushing and shoving afterwards. And now there's a scrum right in the middle of the field on the Hermiston H. as extracurriculars abounds. Riley Miller for Union with some extra pushing and shoving.
Penalty mark.
And it looks like for Hermiston, right now the Bulldogs are pulling Ramirez away. And so we will see. You know, there were quite a few flags on a play when you see a hat down on the turf, because when an official runs out of flags, that's the next thing he throws, is he throws a hat. So tempers flare with 10:24 left in the fourth quarter. Union 36, Hermiston 7, and now the entire Blue Mountain officials crew has to sort this out. Anyways, just to finish the point, I understand that, you know, we're supposedly in the Columbia River Conference, and the Intermountain Conference is a different conference, so when you put the two together, it's a special district. But, I mean, if it's okay with you, I'm going to call it the IMC. And I suppose that's not how I put it earlier tonight, was it? I said, I'm going to call it the IMC. We're all going to call it the IMC. It is my editorial decision. We are in the Intermountain Conference in football. I'm kind of glad to be back. I've missed our trips to Bend in the middle of the fall.
I did not see them escort anybody off
Well, I haven't particularly seen anything either way yet. This is a long, pronounced conversation. David Faitete is out halfway to the middle of the field now. James with Brown behind him. Turns, fakes a handoff, throws it left side. Salinas has it this time. Salinas spun around at the 25-yard. Gains 1 or 2. And a tackle made by Peterson. So 3rd and 3 facing the Bulldogs. Nose of the ball right on the 25-yard. Under 9 minutes remaining. Hermiston huddling right now. Salinas and Gutierrez out to the left, Neal to the right along with Emmett. James on this 3rd and 3. Hands in front, takes a snap, straight drop, looking to throw right side, steps up in the pocket, now he'll pull it down and run himself. He's at the 20, inside the 15, hit from behind as he gets down to the 13-yard line. The quarterback keeper is plenty for a first down at a 13-yard gain.
Gary was good for the first 10.
36-7. Union's lead. Hermiston trying to get their second score of the game. James on first down and 10 from the 13. Hands off to Brown. Brown up the middle to the right. Finds a seam down to the 5.
Number 3, Mitch
Maybe
Brown,
stopped just short of the 5-yard line. At a 2nd and 3.
Number 12, Austin Lewis.
Pending with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Hermiston down 36-7.
2nd and 2.
Down by 4 scores, would have to go for 2 at one point. Hand off to Brown again. Brown behind the right guard and stopped at the 2-yard line, gains 3.
Down to the 2.
So 29-point deficit. You got to pick up
Barber, in on the stop.
4 touchdowns, and one time you got to convert a 2-point conversion.
1st and goal.
First and goal after the gain from the 3-yard line. Brown to the right of James. James keeps it after faking a handoff and plows through to the right side into the end zone. Andrew James, a 3 40-yard touchdown run. That was 7:18 left in the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs are down 36-13. They go for one on this one. Salinas holds. The Caldwell snap. And the Deshaun Neal kick. Good snap. Good hold. Kick is low but through. And it's 36-14 with 7:18 left in the fourth quarter. On AM 1360 KOHU. Should have been 2 there. You go for it early so that if you miss it, you know you got to go for it again. Lifetime Vision Stores the scoreboard and the Hermiston girls soccer team 1-0 winners earlier today playing in LeGrand. The Bulldogs take a couple injuries in the first half. Shaylin Gilbert scores early in the second half for the Bulldogs to give them the 1-0 result and another 3 points. 7:18 left in the fourth quarter. Near side short kick taken around the 40-yard line and just shepherding himself just out of bounds. Keithan Shepard gains a couple of yards on the return to the 43. Union 36, Hermiston 14. Union has thrown their reserves out there in many key positions, including on the last drive. They had the backup quarterback in. And it looks like actually the sophomore, Dakota Oliphant, will get his chance at quarterback now. So Oliphant, the third quarterback in for Union, slaps his hands together, takes a high snap, hands off, running towards the right side, and a handful of yards picked up by Joshua Jew, the sophomore running back. So with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Union has gone deep into their depth chart, leading 36-14. And they will try to see this one off and see themselves back over to the Vancouver area. 2nd and 8. Oliphant, part of his challenge is going to be properly managing the time. Hands off to Drew again, running straight up the middle. He'll fall ahead up to the 48-yard line. And a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Officials time. Injury
for the Titans. And one of their linemen is down. Sao Fa'alevu behind the play. So a starting lineman. So it's not all reserves out there right now for Union. They do have a lot of their big guys on the offensive line still out. .6:22 left in the fourth, 36-14 in favor of the Union Titans. It's on to Lewiston next week for what has been a consistent rivalry for now over a decade for Hermiston. And Lewiston is another team that traditionally Has some pretty good size, Sonny. And, you know, the crazy thing up there is the offense can be completely different from year to year.
Last year we saw not even a drop back passer, but he was already 7 yards, 9 yards deep, and threw the ball all over the place. This year you can see him going under center and seeing him run the ball. They did have a couple of running backs that was pretty good.
They did, for a period of time, they were a power I type team. But the last handful of years, they've been spread in some way or another. And like you said, the type of passing game has been different. South Alevu is up and on his own power, walking over to the far sideline. And we have a Lifetime Vision Source scoreboard final. St. Helens puts one up on Hood River Valley, 47-13, the final score. 3rd down and 4 facing Union. Almost to the halfway point of the 4th quarter as they lead 36-14. Oliphant waiting for the back judge to give him the 5-second signal. He has it now, turns it hands to Jew again, running back to the right side, and Jew will get into Hermiston territory to the 48-yard line, but short of what he needed for the first down. So Union will punt on 4th and 1. 5:23 left in the 4th quarter. Union's lead is 36-14. And Keithan Shepard is going to punt. Deshaun Neal's back to receive, not standing too far back. And a delay of game as the ball is snapped over the head of the punter. And we'll move them back. In some ways, it's a wise clock management decision because you get every single tick of the clock you can possibly. After the penalty, 4th down and 6, although that's kind of inconsequential. Punting from his own 30. Shepard will hammer one away, high spinning kick. Neal backs up, backtracks, gets away from it. It'll take a Hermiston check and be touched on the 18-yard line. With 4:51 left in the 4th quarter, Hermiston will get the possession, 36-14. Yeah. It's been a few years. Costa Rodriguez, maybe? Last time Hermiston had a punt returner who'd be willing to stick his nose in there knowing he might get popped. Handoff to Hinkle. Hinkle breaks a tackle, runs over the top of another tackler and gets 6 yards to the 25-yard line. You know who, one of the best at just taking the punt in traffic was Mark Hodges Jr.
2nd and 3.
Didn't have quite the same top-end speed as maybe Costa, but James is going to go deep downfield, airing it out, and a tip ball intended for Neal, and Dakota Oliphant, who's taken a few snaps at quarterback, is able to reach up and just a barely underthrown ball. If James gets that out a little bit earlier, then Neal's the only one who has a chance at it, and it could be 6.
Game time, 7 o'clock. If you can't be there in person, call the Bulldogs all season long on 1360 AM KOHU. Listen to Eric and Sonny call the exciting action of the Bulldog football season Bulldog Sports.
4:21 left in the fourth quarter. Third down and a 3 facing the Bulldogs. Big handoff. Now James in trouble in the pocket. Slips one defender. Cannot slip the next. And he's brought down by a quartet of white shirts.
And on the stop, number 35.
In the barbershop quartet led by Luke Espasandin. Is going to bring up a fourth down and a 5. Hermiston will call a timeout with 4:03 left in the fourth quarter. Union 36, Hermiston 14. We'll take the break at AM 1360 KOHU. Fourth down play, quarterback keeper.
Number 8.
Andrew James spins off of a tackler. He ends up running for make it 17 yards at a first down for Hermiston. Under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Union 36, Hermiston 14. Bulldogs with some tempo. Twin receivers each way for James. The sophomore quarterback takes a snap, straight drop, looking to throw, steps up in the pocket, lofts one way downfield for Neal. He's bumped from behind, and it'll be a pass interference penalty. Hands of disbelief come out from the defensive back.
Penalty marker on the play.
I think Deshaun Neal did a really good job of seeing that was underthrown, and he needed to check his run to draw some contact.
Sell it somehow, and he was able to go ahead and get the back rush to go ahead and see his way.
Mike Mosier, the one of the many new coaches here at Hermiston, in charge of the quarterbacks, actually pantomiming for Andrew James, because he's had that problem there sometimes where he's just not driving his shoulder, and that's what the former Umatilla High head coach, who's come over to Hermiston this year, was trying to explain to the sophomore. Blue Mountain Officials Association crew is conversing. That would mean that there are flags on each team, because if it was 2 flags on one team, it wouldn't be that difficult. There's definitely pass interference on the defense. David Fatete is all the way out inside the hash marks.
On the play, we have 2 live ball fouls. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct, personal foul, punch throw, number 54 on the offense. He's ejected.
They just ejected another Hermiston Bulldog.
On the defense, those 2 penalties will offset. We'll replay the down.
AJ Fernandez, the left tackle, has been ejected for allegedly, as it was described, taking a swing.
Mike's on.
And David Faitete is still unhappy with, at this point, a lack of explanation. Jerry Ramirez was penalized and removed from the game earlier in the second half. And now A.J. Fernandez penalized and removed from the game for Hermiston. And the head coach is not going to get quite the same long, detailed explanation he got for the first ejection. First down and 10 for Hermiston. The penalty's offset from the 42. James takes a snap, steps up, throws over the middle, and it's caught by Gutierrez and hucked out. No, he held on to it. He did hold on to it. They tried to rip it out. He held on to it to the 47-yard line. Bulldogs will go tempo with 3:33 left in the fourth quarter, trailing 36-14.
Reception was good for the first 10.
Back to the left of James, 3 receivers left side. Rolling that way to throw. Under some pressure, gets away from it. He'll pull the ball down and run himself. Outside the numbers of the 40, 35, 30. Flag out as he breaks the tackle at the 25. Down inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. Andrew James shows a bit of speed, and he gets himself all the way down inside the red zone. But there's a far sideline flag, and I am concerned this is coming back, and the Hermiston boys are already walking back for a holding penalty. And the conversation is taking place with the defensive captain out on the field right now for Union, so it will go against Hermiston.
On the offense, illegal block in the back, 10 yards to the start of the foul, replay first down.
You got it, Sonny. Block in the back, good call, good eyes there. You know, coincidentally, they actually gained a yard on that play.
Desire and absolutely
First and 9 from the 46-yard line. Left hash mark set. James has 3 receivers to the right. He will roll that way, taking the snap. Looking to throw. Time to throw. Down the field. Catches at it. And at the 30-yard line. Turns and spins upfield. Inside the 25. He will rumble down to the 23-yard line. Under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And for the Bulldogs, it's a 36-14 score line. Bulldogs still running tempo. First down and 10 from the 24. James takes a snap, 3 wide left side. He's rolling that way. To throw to the sideline. Catching it, Gutierrez will spin himself out of bounds as he angled himself inside the 20-yard line down to the 18.
Gain of about 5.
This isn't going to turn into some type of miracle comeback, but when you've practiced against yourself for so many weeks in a row, it's good to get reps, especially with a team with this many new faces. Even late, 2:40 left in the fourth quarter. The second down and 6. James rolling right. Throws to the sideline, and it's knocked down by Neal. Probably well done, where it could have been an interception. As Tyron Stanley looked like he was just about to pick one off and go the other direction. Third and 6, 36-14. Hermiston will break a huddle. Union with kids warming up on the far sideline just had one sputter through the field, but it did get all the way out through the back of the end zone, an extra football. Near sideline to Neal. Neal cuts back to his left in the middle of the field, and he will power his way into the end zone. 19-yard touchdown for Hermiston. Second touchdown reception for Deshaun Neal from Andrew James tonight. And now Neal can theoretically add the extra point. Tucker Salinas the hold. Low snap. Salinas got it down, and Neal gets it through. So the point after 10 makes it a 36-21 lead for the team from East Vancouver. Opening night here, the 2016 campaign. Definitely not a storybook away for Hermiston to write this one. The running game has gotten better, albeit against a lot of reserves here in the fourth quarter for Union. Assess Andrew James, night one.
I tell you, I've seen a lot of defense out of him. I think a solid B+. I think that he's seen a couple of times when he's thrown, particularly when he's thrown his hand, his ball sailed on the move. I think that when you need that much and you're that young and you have to run through like a few of the times that he has,
Yeah, I think, the biggest criticism, and I think they knew this coming in, was just the question mark was the defensive and offensive lines, and defensive line has struggled to get a ton of pressure. As Peter Earl tees this ball up, it'll be an onside kick. Rolls through a couple of hands, but is taken. And it will be Shepard, who has it on the near sideline at the 49-yard line. And then, it is in some ways a little bit difficult to assess James because he has had very little time to operate on some passing plays. Some passing plays he has a nice clean pocket, and when he can step up into it, he's thrown nicely over the middle. The sideline balls are the ones that aren't zipping quite enough right now. First down and 10 for Union from the 49-yard line. And a handoff right up the middle. In Hermiston territory, the ball will get all the way down to the 46-yard line. And it is still Joshua Jew doing the running for the Union Titans.
Joshua Jew on the carry.
Dakota Oliphant's the quarterback. Jew stands to his right on second down and 5. Twin receivers left, one man alone wide to the right side. 1:50 left in the fourth quarter, 36-21. Oliphant sees the 5-second and now flag out.
Penalty marker on the play.
Scott Hammond, the defensive coordinator. He's been here for a handful of years as the secondary coach, but takes the defensive coordinator position this year. The Bend High School graduate, played for Craig Walker down in Bend. Was a coach at Tigard before he came here, back in the middle of the Mark Hodges era. A lot of discussion for a false start or an offside. It's night one for everybody, folks. But Hammond takes over the defensive coordinator position when David Fiatete becomes the offensive coordinator. He had been the defensive coordinator since Ryan Kiefhofer had left the program to become an administrator in the Hermiston district originally, now the principal over at Irrigan High School. And so Fiatete took over the defensive coordinator role for Mark Hodges. Last year, he was still the defensive coordinator with Mitch Sanders, the former Pendleton coach, in the fold as the offensive guy. But now David's in charge of the offense. Second down and 10. And Oliphant will take the snap, hand it off in the backfield. The ball is ripped out of Jew's hands in a pile around the 44-yard line. And Hermiston says they have taken it away. David McLeod got in there and ripped it free. And Hermiston has forced a turnover. With a minute 34 remaining in the fourth quarter, down 36-21.
Recover first and 10. Judy, you take at the Titans 43-yard line.
Little hot potato. And Union, I think, is going to call a timeout. Yes, they will. With a minute 34 left in the fourth quarter. The scoreline at 36-21. This is a two-score game with 94 seconds remaining. It is still a incredibly tough row to hoe for Hermiston, but they still got a chip and a chair. Here's what's tough. Union is, for the most part, powered down the starters. It's pretty difficult to get revved back up, just in case. I mean, the fumble puts the ball on the 43-yard line. Hermiston's got one timeout remaining. They trail by 15 with 94 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Andrew James has the first down and 10 after the fumble recovery. High snap, pulls it down, looking left, steps up, throws over the middle, off of Tucker Salidas' hands, incomplete. It was a little bit high, and it was knocked out by Kevin Peterson's defense.
That's exactly where that pass had to be, because, you know, it was right there.
Second and 10 as Hermiston resets. James takes the snap, rolling to the left side. Time, he will throw way downfield towards the end zone. Neal's got a third touchdown reception of the night for Deshaun Neal. This one a 43-yarder. He got behind the defense. So you're saying there's a chance. Should have gone, well, I would have thought you go for two after the first touchdown. And just so you know if you need to get another one, they're going to go for two here. Hinkle to the left of James, twin receivers each way. The two-point conversion. Thrown a little bit off to the right, and it's incomplete. So, 36-27. And what that does is it keeps it a two-score game. Minute 22 left in the fourth quarter, so Hermiston still has to get two. Down by 9. Doing that math right, aren't I? Yeah. That's why I think you do it earlier, just because if you do miss, then you go for it again after the second score, and you have more. You just have more opportunities to convert the two that you need. The deep man, back at the 10. It's pretty traditional, though, to have a safety, just in case. Because Earl's going to kick it away here, near sideline. It'll spin. It'll be touched, and it'll be loose, and Hermiston recovers it. It still ends up a comedy errors, and Hinkle's got it. Minute 16 left in the fourth. Union 36, Hermiston 27. And the Bulldogs have the ball, first down and 10 at the, it hasn't actually been spotted yet. It's going to be the 17-yard line. David Faitete is having a conversation with Whitehead. I think maybe his claim is that ball should have been further down the field. That's a clock.
1:15 on the clock.
We're gonna put 3 seconds back on the clock. That's what I thought. Instead, it's at the 17-yard line. First down and 10. James looking to throw left side. Slant play to Salinas. He catches it down to the 10-yard line. Now the clock will keep running. 1:05 left. And Hermiston's got to go no huddle. They have one timeout left, but they still need 2 scores. Down by 9. James. Rolling right. He'll pull the ball down himself at the 5, the 4. He is hammered at the right hash mark down to the 3-yard line.
Inside the 5 to the 2.
But James is able to pick up enough for a first down yardage. And it's first and goal while the chains are set. The clock is stopped with 50 seconds left. The clock will restart. James takes a snap. He fumbled it. Dropped it, and the Union picked it up right on the 6-yard line. So any potential comeback bid is going to be extinguished right there with 43.5 seconds left. It was a little bit of a bizarro comeback, but it was good for Hermiston because there was a point there where I was a little bit concerned after it was 36-7 that Hermiston might have trouble getting off of the mat on the last touchdown run, the 21-yarder by Tommy Strassenberg. And so the fact that the Bulldogs were able to at least claw their way back, even if they weren't doing it against all of Union's number ones. Some good extra fight. Some frustration, though, for this Hermiston team. I think they got the opportunity there to see a bit of hope, see that they were having a chance, and that just a bobble right around the goal line. And again, even so, it's still important to note they needed 2 scores. They needed to recover another onside kick.
I think Andrew saw that, the snap might have got to him, up in the high area there on the base right. Just come back and pick it up.
I almost wonder if that was going to be a design run for him. And that coupled with maybe he was going before he got the ball would be maybe some speculation I have. Victory formation for Union. They'll take a knee. And with under 40 seconds remaining. They'll need to take one more kneel down and get out of here with a 36-27 win on opening night for the Union Titans as they open up the Rory Rosenbach era, the first-year head coach at Union. Glacier Bay, the only team he lost to a year ago was Bellevue. And he opens up this campaign, the first time that Union and Hermiston play, the high school from Vancouver that's been around since 2007. Union, the winners, 36-27 is the final scores, and the last kneel down has been completed. There are a few storylines from this one. Union gets the win on opening night on Kennison Field at Bulldog Stadium. We wrap things up here this evening. The Swifters postgame show is coming up on AM 1360 KOHU.
Kickoff, 7 o'clock. Coming up on Friday the 23rd, the Southern Storm, the defending 5A state champs will be in town. Take on the Bulldogs here at Kennison Field. Fans, remember, every Thursday at noon, it's the linebacker luncheon at Desert Lanes. We invite you to come by and listen to Coach David Wahatite talk about the Bulldogs and the week's move. Thank you for attending this evening's ballgame, and please drive home safely. Good night.